Hi, I'm Russell Sturgis. I'm the founder and principal of EAP Mentor. I commenced EAP in 2009, and since then over 1,000 people have created a life that they love as a result of learning to be mindful of being kind and turning up in the world kinder to themselves first and foremost, and as a result of that becoming kinder to other people and kinder to the environment and the planet. This program that I developed was inspired by a tradition of Western mindfulness that emerged in Italy during the 15th century. Now, as a result of its origin, it's quite unique, and as such, it's not life coaching, it isn't counselling, it has no tie-up with psychotherapy or psychology. So it stands alone as a way of helping people manage change in terms of creating a better quality of life. The thing that has emerged, particularly over the last decade, is that this approach to change management is in complete alignment with the latest research of neuroscience around neural pathway development and neuroplasticity. Now, everything that they're beginning to learn about neural pathway development is really about what's required to bring about change, and they've now begun to understand the mechanisms for how that's achieved. Ultimately, change is about consciously deciding that you have dreams and wishes of a lifestyle that's better than the one that you have. In other words, you're wanting things to improve. And that's how we turn up consciously in life, is relating to the experiences of what we're doing in a way of beginning to see and imagine what life could look like if it was different to how it is now. Now, what they now know in neuroscience, and this isn't, I can remember back in the 70s, Maxwell Maltz's psychocybernetics sort of alluded to these whole ideas as well, but it's this whole idea that in order to be able to create a life that you love, your subconscious, which is who you turn up habitually, when you go into autopilot, for example, has to be aligned with the dreams and wishes. Invariably, what happens for most of us is that we might be inspired by somebody, we might be reading a book and be uplifted, and we think, wow, I have a dream and wish to create a new reality for my experience. And so we start to sort of play with that as an idea, but we do nothing to reprogram the subconscious. And so what happens is when a situation arises, we meet somebody who pushes our old buttons, or a situation arises that triggers our old concerns and worries. When we start to think and use our conscious mind to engage thoughts about what's going on, that's the point at which we then move into subconscious programs. And of course, the only thing that we access are those programs that have been well established. And so they're our habits. And for most of us, those programs and habits, and this is what research is now showing, most of it was well and truly established by the age of 7. So for many of us, this was our parents or those people that had the biggest influence in our upbringing between birth and the age of 7. And in one form or another, that's what we resort to in terms of how we then experience life. And of course, the impact of that is we end up experiencing what we've always experienced, getting what we've always got, because the same patterns of behaviour, those habitual, automatic, what we resort to, ways of thinking, ways of emoting, ways of acting, come to the surface, and we get the same old, same old. So one of the things that's kind of significant in all that is that research has also shown that 95% of our day is basically subconscious, or in other words, functioning habitually. Now, some of that's good, but the biggest majority of it doesn't serve us. So as an EAP mentor, literally what you're doing is helping people to reprogram their subconscious through a process of awareness and primarily through a process of mindfulness. And so with the Enhancers Awareness Program, we have a 5-step strategy which is facilitated over 3 units during the course of a year. And what we're literally doing, and what you'd be doing if you decided that you wanted to become an EAP mentor, is that ultimately you're helping people to be inspired, to imagine and create a life that they love, and to be more mindful of the sorts of self-loving behaviours that would support that. And through the practice of mindfulness, literally reprogramming those neural pathways so that your habits eventually become ones that actually support and sustain your dreams and wishes. And that then becomes the mechanism for sustainable change. Just imagine being somebody who has the capacity to help people, first of all, imagine and begin to invest their energies in creating a life that they love, which is achieved through a practice of being more mindful, primarily about being kinder to themselves, and as a result of that, being kind to other people and kind to the planet. I can't think of anything more exciting and delightful to be involved in terms of healing and shifting the consciousness of humanity. If you'd like to know more about becoming an EAP mentor, go to the bottom of the page and have a look at some of the suggestions down there about what to do. Through the rest of this page, you'll find out more about the Enhancers Awareness Program. Other things you can do is go and have a look at the blog page, and there are lots of blogs that look at the principles and the theories behind the Enhancers Awareness Program. And I would also highly encourage you to subscribe to the email e-zine that we send out once a month called Mindful Living, which has really lots of inspiring and uplifting and pragmatic suggestions for how to live your life with more awareness and mindfulness. Anyway, thank you for watching this video and taking the time to search out more about the Enhancers Awareness Program, and I look forward to meeting you sometime in the future.